going on? I'm in the Bahamas right now. I'm on one of the family islands called Eleuthera. Well, actually, I'm at the tip of Eleuthera. It's an island right off of it called Spanish Wells. Pretty small island, but there's really interesting culture here. People who have lived here for generations, and really fascinating forest gardens. There's all sorts of breadfruit, citrus. I'm seeing pigeon peas for nitrogen fixing, coconuts, bananas, plantains. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this, so check it out. Food forest, we got the sugar apple, custard apple, I get those mixed up sometimes. Banana trees, got a cabbage just kind of popping up there, tomatoes. You can tell someone intentionally planted this forest garden out with all edible plants. It's really interesting. Looks like there's some cassava growing in between the bananas. Try not to step on anything here. There might be some sweet potato growing as a ground cover. Yeah, really fascinating. We got squash, pigeon peas popping out. If we go in a little deeper, we'll see, I think, some papaya back here. This is definitely someone's garden, but they have the gate wide open to the street. So I'm hoping that means it's open to the public. Got a beautiful starfruit tree. Looks like there's a package in there of some kind. I think maybe they're trying to do some air layering, where you pile up soil in a bag around a cut branch or a marked branch, so that it sprouts roots into the bag of soil, and then you could separate it and create a new plant. It's much easier to do here in the tropics. Yeah, some papaya back here. But yeah, definitely making use of the ground cover. It's a really smart thing to do in any forest garden, is to use all the space you have. Yeah, really interesting. A lot of these trees haven't actually come into fruiting yet, or out of season, so I can't say what they are. But yeah, I definitely learned how rocky you can plant into. It's probably a pain to crack into this and plant, but once you do, you're going to start building organic matter, especially if you use nitrogen fixers or dynamic accumulators to start building soil fast, which hopefully is their plan here. I think they'll succeed. Here's a really interesting example of a food forest. I'm not going to go in because I think it's someone's property here. But yeah, they're just kind of growing straight out of the rock here. Doesn't look like there's that much nice soil, but somehow they're doing pretty good. I think it's just all the sunshine and rain that they get here. But I can't identify all the plants, but there's definitely some mangoes in the back, some citrus, some sapodillas, however you say them. Quite a bit more. Wish I could go in, but I tend not to like to trespass if I can help it. Up on the other side of the house, we've got plenty of bananas. Looks like maybe some pigeon peas in there for nitrogen. I can't imagine there's much nitrogen in this, but yeah, I've seen that all over the island. Is that things are growing straight out of the rock. So definitely interesting. The back, really big sapodilla tree. Definitely does really well here. I got me some right now. I gotta watch out for the sap if they're not totally ripe. Literally right next to that forest garden, we have another gate, another garden to check out next. Looks like a lot more heavy on the vegetables here. Nice big pigeon pea. Looks like some okra is on its way out. Beautiful orange tree dropping some fruit. I don't know, I've seen like some orange trees that look healthy, many of them that don't. So I don't know how well citrus grows here, but there's plenty of the trees. It doesn't look like the trees are like extremely productive. But yeah, interesting little community garden here. Some sea grapes. I wonder if they harvest from that, or is that just like wild sea grapes? Definitely not as intermixed as the last forest gardens that we checked out, but some similar species. Let's check through here. It's beautiful bananas, some peas, beans. Interesting, but not as much fruit as the last one. But hey, sometimes you want to eat more than fruit, right? Just kind of walking through here, there's more tropical forest gardens. I think that's just something that happens a lot in the tropics. We've got some citrus growing. It doesn't look too healthy, but it's hanging on. Some oranges or some limes. Another nice big sapodilla tree. Someone else's forest garden on the other side. Wish I could, sit here all day and identify, but yeah, no trespassing sign, so want to respect that. There's some plants with some little yellow fruits on them. I think that might be like a Chinese date. If you know what that is, comment in the section. So to the right of that blue house is a breadfruit tree, pretty big one too, and I could even just turn and see another breadfruit tree in the distance that direction, and I bet if I walk that way I'll find another one. Let's go check out this one. So here you can actually see on this really giant breadfruit some fruit actually on the tree right there, and you can harvest them underripe and use them as a vegetable, and I think they will actually ripen up and turn sweet, although I've never had them. This tree has quite a few, so it lets me know that maybe this is a different variety, or yeah, it's really close. You can see the top of another one the next block over that had no fruit, so my guess is these are all seedlings or different varieties that were planted here. I don't know how old these trees are, maybe 40-50 years old, and it's possible people in the area collect from them for food, which is really interesting. Okay, so I just harvested a breadfruit. It's leaking latex. Very small, underripe. It probably would have gotten about 2 to 3 times the size, but I didn't want to get up into the tree and get the bigger ones. But I'm gonna go ahead and roast this and have it as a starchy vegetable. This is the Moringa. You can tell because it's got these like really light leaves. White flowers, and all these pods, which I haven't really seen on other Moringa trees. Pods are edible, seeds are edible, green pods are edible, roots edible. It's a very edible plant, extremely high in nutrition. Yeah, it grows all over Bahamas. Very easy to propagate. I think they've got a couple in the back there too. You can even grow it in cold climates. I have a video called Moringa in cold climates or something like that, and you can look that up, and I talk about that a bit. There's like an orchard in this way. I can't really go in there, but you can see spilling over a lot of pigeon pea, which is a very popular tropical legume. It's nitrogen fixing, produces edible flowers and edible green peas and edible dry peas, all in the same plant. You can see brown one, green one, and flowers. And it's perennial. I think it can last a few years. You can even grow it as an annual in cold climates. But you want to try to find a day-length neutral variety. Yeah, there's a little seedling popping up there. So here's a good example of a palm oil palm tree. Can't recall the Latin name right now, but it's the same palm species that is used to make palm oil, which is found in many products. And it's one of those oils that's very shelf stable. It can be used as, in things like peanut butter and processed food products because of its particular melting properties and solidification properties. And it's also extremely productive crop, one of the most productive oil crops in the world. So it's a powerful species. But unfortunately, a lot of virgin rainforests all over the world, especially in Indonesia and Southeast Asia, are being deforested to plant oil palm. but if it can be grown in a home garden settings, there's ways for you to process your own palm oil to make oil from the skin, the flesh, and then also pressed out of the seeds. So nopales, nopale cactuses, prickly pear cactuses, opuntia cactuses, whatever you want to call them. This is likely Opuntia coccinellifera, or it's also Opuntia ficus alata is the other possibility on it. But I grow some, you've seen maybe in some other videos, me growing these. Interesting that the new pads have spikes, but then they fall off in the older pads. But yeah, it's cool. They're spineless, glochidless, and yeah, you can grow them and as houseplants, bring them outside in the summer and they'll grow faster. But you can eat them too, and they're kind of tangy, kind of have the texture of okra. So it's cool to see those here. Okay, so here's a great view of the fruit. We've got you know, the sugar apples, these little yellow pomegranates, which I haven't tried yet. The sapodillas, starfruits, really great yellow papaya with like bright orange flesh, very delicious. Breadfruit, bananas. I even got some plantains not in here, but yeah, beautiful place to forage fruit. So come and check out the Bahamas.